1. We're live with the 8th episode of GuardianCast, and this week we have special guest snacKNIGHT, who is here with us from South Korea.
New Zealand or South Korea.
South Korea, yeah.
I knew it was South Korea.
Which it's very early in the morning, so we appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
If you want to take like a second to just kind of talk about your experience with Destiny, you know, and like how you got into the game and stuff like that.
All right. So I played Destiny 1. I was highly anticipating it for months. I played the alpha, played the beta, played close to 800 hours total by the end of Destiny 1. But I was also in school at the time, so I couldn't play it as much as I wanted. And so when Destiny 2 came out, I was super pumped. And I played it incessantly for I don't know how many months, but started to drop off. I haven't played for about 3 weeks now. But overall, I'm still optimistic that it's going to bring me back. Like the changes they've been announcing have been slowly getting better and better. And yeah, I'm looking forward to all the updates basically. So
cool.
Questions are already rolling in.
Really?
Great. Let's go.
Huffy, are you an angry man?
I am angry this week.
Okay.
it's gonna be lively.
So you want to talk about yourself as a streamer and what you kind of usually stream and stuff like that?
So right now I'm streaming a variety of things, mostly like open world or RPGs. Been doing Zelda, Horizon Zero Dawn, Nier Automata, little bit of Sea of Thieves, but I don't know how much I'll really implement that. Just a variety of games.
Nier Automata, I heard that game is great, but the PC port isn't so great. Is that true, or?
That's what I've heard. I played on PS4, so I never had the issues.
Gotcha.
There were a lot of, I guess, technical issues on PC.
Okay.
But it was by far my favorite game last year. It was incredible. Just all over the experience. It forces you to play it 3 times to get the full story.
Oh.
And it's from different perspectives each time. And the story is just out there, bonkers. It's bananas. It's worth playing. And it's on sale right now, I think, too. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about streaming it. But Far Cry 5 is coming out this week.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like, hey, buddy!
Yeah.
Also, New Balance
Far Cry
patch.
5 looks interesting. I mean, it looks interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
I've never played any of the series actually, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they're just like super well made, story driven first person shooter games.
Okay. I'll be honest, I haven't played any of them.
Rest, Guardian.
No Way Out.
It's a
Isn't
way
that a
out.
horror game? I
No.
don't really do horror games.
It's not
Maybe
a
I
horror.
should because
It's
everything
not a horror
scares
game.
me. You know, no.
No, it's a prison escape game. Lenny was playing it last night.
Oh.
Rest.
Huffy needs a green black. Huffy needs a green screen. Recked has a green screen. We know Recked does.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's behind me. It's rolled up.
I don't think that I want to join the green screen gang. I think that I like just like letting people into my world a little.
I thought that a little bit, and then I was like, you know, I think I'd rather offer more gameplay, real estate, you know.
Yeah, when you're really taking away from the
Immersion.
Visceral immersion of
Oh
the
my
game.
God.
You don't have a green screen.
Yeah.
Well, my apologize. My apology.
My apologize.
My apologize.
All right, so let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
So I hate to do this, but the first thing mentioned in the TWAB is the faction rallies.
It's one of the things that we need to know. Is it happening now?
Yeah.
Who won last week?
Yeah.
What to look forward to for the next faction rally?
Yeah.
How many weeks now is this in a row? We've had the faction rally.
This is 5 weeks.
5 weeks in a row.
In the TWAB.
Okay.
Yeah. And there will be a 6 week next week because we
they're
know
going to talk about who won.
we know we're going to find out who won, and then it's going away for a little while, guys.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they're going to be like, don't worry, guys. We got you in the next
Yeah.
The TWAB after, they're going to be like, this is how we're revitalizing Faction Rally for Season 3.
Yeah.
We just wanted to talk a little bit about it, about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Just
You're
enough
right.
to base it out for like another 5 weeks.
No, it'll probably be 7 weeks exactly because Bungie is like obsessed with the number 7 for whatever reason.
7 is a really good number.
So,
to be fair.
So, all I wanted to say about this was to remind you guys, this is the last faction rally of Season 1. If you want any of that armor, the ornaments, or the weapons, get it now because we don't know if any of it's coming back, and it probably
It's
won't.
all coming back.
I mean, if it is, then that's really stupid.
It's all, he's right. It's all coming back, but it might be different. It might be it won't be like at the start of Season 3.
Yeah.
You're saying they're going to keep all of the same weapons in Season 3?
We're going to get some new ones.
They're going to have new ones, yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
But they might have a different way of achieving the weapons. So if there's, if you see the...
If they're taking time to reinvent this thing and they are going to roll out these same crappy weapons, that's a problem.
No, they're going to have the same weapons.
They're going to have the same weapons. They're just adding new ones. That's what they did with Curse. I don't know why you expect...
Because they're taking this whole event away to fix it. So why would they bring it back?
They're reinventing it. But if you find, like what I'm trying to say
with
is,
not meaningful loot.
If you find the weapons to be easy to get, they're not going to take a weapon out of a game. Hollow Earth, they're not going to take out of Dire Promise. They're not going to take out of the game. That's
why
ridiculous.
They did it before.
Yeah.
They did it.
What, do you want them to? I think that we're getting into an interesting aesthetic argument. Like, right
well, then why would you even bother? Because if they're taking it out of the game, then it's not going to be in the game.
I can tell you, in D1, every time they moved on to something new, like basically in vanilla, if you didn't get the vanilla weapons when the Taken King ran around, like everything that dropped in vanilla, you could not get in the loot pool anymore at all.
Well, yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: we're not talking about the Taken King was the year 2 expansion. This is still year 1, my dude.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the X packs for year 1. We're not.
Yeah, but these are limited time events that, I mean, look, if my original point was more about the fact that it's such boring weapons for the most part. Like 90% of them suck. And then the armor.
That's how it's always been.
The armor does. I know, and they're taking the event away to make it better. So why bring it back with the same boring loot? That would not make any sense.
There's gonna be new loot. I think that you're really overreacting. Like, listen, Taken King was year 2.
Right.
They're not gonna reinvent the weapon pool in an X pack for year 1.
Different paint schemes.
If they're literally taking this event away to bring it back and say, hey, you can get the same crappy grenade launcher, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
So I think what they might do is they might just sell all the old crappy stuff for like tokens and stuff, and all the new stuff will be part of the new loot system or whatever they're planning. That might be one of the solutions.
If they put the old stuff in for tokens, that would be great, and then they could put a whole new set of stuff into the loot pool. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, either way, we don't know anything about what's going on, so there's no point in yelling about it.
But there is a point in speculating, which is why I
I was saying was, hey, go get the stuff you want, because we don't know if you can get it again.
Right. What he's voicing is a valid concern, because what I wouldn't want to have happen is like log in, like they're like, guys, we've redone everything. Log in to the faction rally this week, so you guys know. And you're like, you click on the button, and you're like, the first thing you get is two purples, and one of them is a new purple, and it's a ship, and you're like, ah. And then the second one is like the Dire Promise, like weeks and weeks and weeks, and you're like, well, this.
So if you want to know what weapons to get, I would say definitely Dire Promise, the Maxim 11 from the from New Monarchy, the sniper, and I don't know. I guess that's pretty much.
The Palladius corrector.
Yeah. I don't use
the Pleiades.
I don't use a lot of SMGs, but that one looks pretty good.
The stochastic variable.
Yeah, the stochastic variable is pretty good.
Palladius corrector is the
Scout.
That's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be a scout rifle, but it's got Dragonfly, right?
No,
No, it
that's
has
the
high
pulse.
cal.
That's the heart of time. Yeah, you should get the heart
Yeah,
of
the
time.
heart of
the hard
time
time you definitely should get because
gonna
they're
be good.
buffing. They're buffing Dragonfly.
But yeah, and then the armor, just if you think it looks cool, get it, because none of it does anything special. So
It just fills up your vault space.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, these ornaments are lit though. We don't know what's gonna happen with the ornaments. We might get new ornaments.
if we don't get
Probably.
new ornaments, I don't even know what the
Good.
hell they're doing. I really don't.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
we
we
did
reinvented
for the-
this. Here's all the same stuff you already collected. Go get it.
I mean, I understand the anger, but it's definitely too much to expect for them to give us a whole new gun loot pool.
No.
No, I get it though. I get what he's saying. What he's saying is what he doesn't want to have happen is them to say, "Oh, by the way, like we've redone everything." Like they're breaking out of their mold right now to say that we're taking it away so that we can work on it and do something with it that's more impactful. And what Recked is saying is what he doesn't want to have happen is logging in and going, "Oh, wow, well, it's exactly the same as before,
Yeah.
only with a different paint job." And that's like lipstick on a pig, and it's like, like nobody's gonna buy that.
Right. Or I mean, even if they make the event interesting and they have all the same stuff, I'm like, oh, I already have all this stuff. That would suck. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to keep it though, because if they take it away, the people who don't have those weapons are going to be somewhat upset that they never got them, and they're going to get like if they keep them, people are going to be upset. If they take them away, people are going to be upset.
Well, I liked
feel like
Exo's solution, how he said you could buy it if you could buy it with the tokens.
Yeah.
But honestly, though, like
that would actually be the people sell things like the gunsmith,
yeah,
like,
right.
Maybe the gunsmith should sell guns. I don't know.
Honestly, though, like I really did enjoy in D1 having those collector weapons that you couldn't get anymore. I thought that was a cool thing. Like you'd be like, oh, I have this sniper rifle that doesn't exist in the loot pool anymore, and I can bring it into non-competitive Crucible matches. I thought that was a cool thing.
Well, another issue that's kind of boiling under the surface. So if they fix every other game, there's another issue that's boiling under the surface. And what people want is they want like a collection style system for their weapons that they have that are not exotics, because they don't want to have to worry about, well, I got that gun, but I accidentally dismantled that. Now I have to spend, like 5 hours earning it back again. It's like people want a way to, collect their legendaries.
Kiosks. We need kiosks.
Yeah, kiosks, exactly.
Kiosks,
like something so that we can get it back once we've already got it.
I think that adds to the problem I think that would add to the problem that legendaries it feels like there's no difference between your legendaries, and there's not right now, and that's something that they need to fix. But if we get kiosks for legendaries, then they just become like exotics, and they're like disposable. They're disposable items.
They're already disposable now, though. I mean, every time you get another one, you delete it.
Yeah, but I'd rather not commit to the disposability. I'd rather them find a way to make them feel not disposable.
I would agree with that. The only thing is, like, the vault space is not there to have everything, which sucks. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's terrible to have to choose. Not between, like, I think it's fine to not have every legendary in the game. Like, I think if you're like trying to collect every legendary in the game, then that's fine.
I don't think it'd be possible to collect every single one though.
What's happening?
Oh, Chris. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
wait a minute.
Oh, he's
Wait a
going to
minute.
get his McDonald's, I guess.
Are you putting up like I mean, I've got a cloth here. I've got this cloth here, but like his cloth is like this big, and he's like,
Yep. Yep.
all right, guys, I'm gonna put the
Mm-hmm.
right over the green screen. That looked like this. I don't know. Maybe it's a much bigger cloth, but it looked like a really, really small cloth.
I mean, with the state of the game the way it is now, I think kiosks would be better. I understand what he's saying about like giving meaning to them, but the vault space isn't there, and I like collecting the weapons. I like hoarding the weapons. That way, when sandbox changes come, you have a bunch of stuff that you can say, "Hey, maybe this would be interesting now."
The first thing would be fixing the vault space, and that's the major concern.
That's
I think
number one.
That is
Yeah.
the main concern, because like, but it's also that if I dismantled a weapon, I own the weapon, but I dismantled it. Oops, I'm like a bad person, and I have to spend 5 hours getting the same weapon again. Like, I can't tell you how many people who have told me, you know, I was like, get the better devils. You really want the better devils? Like, I got it. I just dismantled it. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you get another one. It's not that big a deal.
Well, getting another one though takes a lot of time for people. I guess there's who did you say? There was one person who said that they didn't get him. Like, it took me several months to get a man and an NSFR.
Right. Yeah. It can feel weird with the RNG aspect of it, but like most stuff, you just end up getting like 10 times, you know, and you're like, really?
Once you get them over and over again.
Yeah.
But if you dismantle them, you get I feel like you get them less.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I kind of like the RNG though, because if you get everything immediately, then what are you chasing? Like, there's nothing to, because there's so much like missing from the game in a way right now. That,
what if you got it though, and you dismantled it on accident?
that
then
sucks.
you have to grind for it. It sucks, but grind for it again, and once you get it again, you'll know for sure. So you know you're not going to dismantle it, and you're going to have it. And yeah, be able to.
I don't think Exo's saying it should be easy to get all of them, though. I think he's just saying that
I'm okay with I'm okay with the grinding aspect of it. I'm just when I get it, I want to have it. I don't want it to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because of something stupid like, oh, I don't have enough vault space for this, and I didn't know it was good.
I'm all for kiosks.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft handles this in a imperfect way, but they have you know, if you delete them or dismantle them or disenchant them or whatever, you have no way to get it back except for one service, which is on Blizzard's website. It's a item recovery
for money,
and you can recover items once every 30 days. So if you make a mistake like that, it's gone forever.
Okay.
But you do have a way to go in and recover a handful of items, and it'll cost you whatever materials that you got from it, and they'll send it to you as like in the mail as like a you'll have to pay those items when you pick them up at the mailbox.
That sounds complicated.
It's really hardcore.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. I don't know. I think I used that system back when I played WoW, and I mean it sucks and it's super complicated. And it's like a big deal, but it's like you better not delete your shit.
Well, I'm actually gonna skip around a little bit to talk about that because we talk about Bungie's development tools all the time, and like implementing a system like that just doesn't sound like it's gonna happen to me. And this week, Destin Legary from IGN put out this tweet that shows a flow chart of the teams involved at Bungie in making a single enemy. And it looks like the most complicated thing in the entire world. Like, the amount of people it has to go through to get one enemy designed, it's kind of ridiculous.
Wait, we have computers, right? So let me look that up.
I'm gonna pull it up. It's in the the thing I gave you. It's
the pictures.
Yep, the picture. The link to the tweet.
It's like 40 plus people. Yeah. It looked like it was like 43 to 45 people to make one enemy.
And here's the flow chart.
Here's the teams involved in making a single enemy. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep. Confirmed. Recked gave me a virus.
Yeah. Right.
Leadership team, asset team, small team, singletons, support team, service team. Okay, so the service team, they're like support teams.
Near the bottom, it's a link, Twitter link.
Near the bottom of what?
Of the outline that I put.
Yeah, it's category I. In competitive,
it's under miscellaneous notes, actually.
Appendix I in.
I thought I got that removed.
Link to the tweet. Yeah, sure. I'll put that in chat for you guys. But yeah, so I just found that interesting because they always talk about development being super hard with their engine for like everything, you know, and so a system like that I could see being a stretch goal for like 2025 or something like that, you know. They could get it in there. It'll take a while.
Well, the asset team is the team that it's both art and people who are creating the pixels and the triangles to make it so that it can fit within the constraints of both the PS4 and the Xbox One. The small teams are the things that kind of like break those out into code that the actual game can spit out. The leadership team obviously is the people who are overseeing everything. The singletons are the people who are like their go-betweens and their go-everywheres. The support team are the people who are handling both the communication between the asset team and the small team. It's really just the asset team and the small team, but the support team is there to kind of help them along with that process, because all it is triangles, textures, and it all has to be within inside the game engine.
And so sound, animation, effects, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean everything that it takes to make a game, right? So really, it's the asset team, it's the small teams, and everything else is just supporting those two. I mean, it looks super complicated by looking at that picture, but the service team is there to make. I'm sure the service team is probably that's the engine team, like that's the engine.
I can guarantee, even if you simplify this and say they have a system for it, you know, and it's not as bad as it looks, that it's time consuming, you know. And
that absolutely is time consuming, but I think the feedback loop on that is relatively short.
So basically, like, all these people do a bunch of work, it gets to leadership, and they're like, I hate it, do it again, and then they start at the beginning.
I mean, I'm sure that's how it works everywhere.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay comes in and tells you that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's not like one guy on the WoW team that's like, I'm gonna make a bear, and then he brings it and he's like, I got a bear for you, and they're like, put it in.
Yeah, they're like, but wait, this bear actually doesn't look like a tiger though. I think I want a tiger now, so could you do it again? And they're like, really?
I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
I want a tiger.
So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. I found that kind of interesting. But you guys want to move on to the Nightfall news here?
Do it.
All right, so let's start this off with Huffy set a world record for Nightfall scoring. Why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
It took a lot of work. I had a good team of 3. Took about 5 hours. A failed attempt, but we successfully got number 1 on the leaderboard for lowest Nightfall score in Destiny 2 without being 0. I have a 1 Nightfall score this week. One single point.
It's on his emblem. Yep. 1 point.
We took 3 golden guns, about 40 minutes of sitting at the boss, waiting for the score to tick down by 6 a second, right? The room for error was very great. So we were trying to get just a single digit score on the Nightfall, you know, just so it looked like incredibly pitiful. And the first 2 times we sat there for 40 minutes, stream, like literally sat there. We were like watching clips and shit. And we golden gunned like a millisecond too late both times and got zero score. but we finally got 1 score on the Nightfall. Pretty proud of it.
That's awesome.
I wish that you had like a highlights clip that you could submit for Movie of the Week. That'd be awesome if you ended up in the 12.
I have a picture of the emblem on Twitter.
but they don't put any pictures in the except like artwork. They don't usually put pictures in the TWAB.
Well, I could highlight the 3 attempts, you know, and submit it for movie of the week, but there's a lot of cursing in there.
Yeah, that's what I know.
The first 2 times especially, it's pretty profane. There's throwing of items, headsets, and standing. Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about these new Nightfall.
Congratulations, Huffy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty proud of it.
I think that's due.
Good.
Congratulations.
Dado liked my tweet, so I think that I've been validated.
That's true. That's true. So let's talk about these new Nightfall unique rewards.
Right.
First of all, you guys remember they said last week, hey, some people might not want this spoiled. What do you guys think? Well, apparently...
Thank goodness they asked.
Apparently they put out a poll on Twitter, and it's more controversial than I thought it was going to be because it was almost 50-50, with just slightly in favor of not showing it. And and they decided not to show it. So
I thought that everybody was going to be in favor of not showing it.
That's what I kind of assumed.
Well, I mean, it's like when they give you an option of saying, would you like to know or would you not like to know? It's like, well, you know, I don't really want to know, but like we talked about it last week, right, or the week before, where we all said here, that I don't want to know, but I would like to be given like the conceptual idea, maybe an example, to give me an idea of what we're looking at or what we're doing,
which they did not do.
Which it did not do.
Yeah. So there's no.
I'm excited about it.
I'm a little bit excited and a little bit worried.
Nervous.
Yeah, because so here's the thing. We're going to talk about all the stuff they say to hype this up, but if this is done right, it could be the most awesome thing that's ever happened in Destiny, and when people discover these things, it could be like, holy crap, that guy was the first one to get it, if they do it right. And then it could be an awesome weapon. But if it's hard to get, and then somebody gets it, and it's a lackluster piece of garbage armor that doesn't do anything special, just like all of the other armor in the game, then people are going to be like, why would I waste my time grinding that? And the whole thing is going to be ruined. So the execution of this has to be good with them keeping it under wraps. So I really hope that they nail it, honestly.
I agree. I think they will. Okay. I have faith.
It depends on how they're rolling it out, in my opinion. Like if they're rolling it out with the next expansion, yes.
No,
it's
next week.
Tuesday.
Oh, next week, right?
Yeah, with the patch.
Okay, well, all right.
So yeah, it'll be next week.
I'm definitely nervous then.
Yeah.
Here's what we need. We need. I don't think they're gonna do it, but we need good guns.
Yeah.
Not reskins.
Well, I don't think they're going to be reskins. I think that that's pretty much confirmed because they said like the whole reason they had to push it back to now instead of pushing it out with Nightfall scoring is because they had to have the art teams needed extra time to work on the models. So,
Huffy, they hear what you're saying when you say they need good guns. Okay.
Yeah.
But what if they took every model in the game that was a good model and they just made it an amazing gun now? So like to be like, okay, pick up our new gun. It looks exactly like the old gun, only it fires better. Maybe it looks modified or something like that. Like,
I mean, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. But if that was what was happening, that would still be pretty decent, honestly.
Yeah, like it'll show like a better Devils, right? It'll be like that's a better Devils. I know I see a better Devils, and it's like, get our new better Devils or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna eventually replace the better Devils, but it looks like a better Devils, but it's like heavily modified.
Okay.
You know, kind of deal.
But that's
would you be all right with that? Like they're taking the geometry, but they're like slapping things on it. Like
I'd be fine with that.
But that's not what they're doing though. So let's not
confirmed not what they're doing.
That was just a preface.
Yeah.
I literally wasn't trying to make a point about the guns.
Oh no, I'd rather talk about the game they should make than the game they have.
No.
Yeah.
We need good guns. But more than that, we need, on the armor pieces that they're adding,
Unique perks.
we need perks. We need raid perks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine if they fill up the mod slot like the raid ones do, but we need some perks.
Yeah.
There have to be raid style perks, or else, like, and now it's not even like, oh, at least it's a recov piece for Hunter, because now you can change it to whatever you want.
Right.
So
it has to be gameplay oriented, unique, not just like, hey, here's another piece of cosmetic garbage for you, you know. So that's why if there is armor, that they have to be different. And I don't think there's going to be full sets of armor. I think it'll probably be like, you remember Omnigul had like a warlock bond? It'll be that kind of thing, I think.
Yeah. And the ogre had those really ugly hunter gloves that were like really ugly.
And then Tanix had that awful cloak.
Oh, that awesome cloak. That was the best cloak, dude. Oh my god, I love that cloak. Cloak of Tanix, dude.
Yeah.
When you put the what was it? That like purple like Valentine shader stuff on it. Oh my god.
Or
like,
the three little scions had the 3 different element color.
That looked terrible.
Yeah, I remember Triple Wreck like farmed all 3 of those for like days. That was interesting.
No, PS4 on the I had all that stuff on the PS4. I figured it was all easy to get because the PS4 had that on launch day, but I totally forgot that kind of stuff came later.
Yeah, the Nightfall stuff, the unique stuff
they-
didn't come till Taken King and whatnot.
That's unfortunate. Can we have a solemn second here to talk about exclusive content in video games?
Yeah, sure.
I'd much rather have I don't know how I feel about it anymore, because I was thinking about it the other day. You know, would I rather have exclusive games, or would I rather have exclusive content for games?
Mm.
I'm on the fence now. I don't even know.
So I don't like either of them. I get why they need to exist. I think if you are going to have timed exclusives, that the time needs to be severely limited. A year is way, way too long. Just not acceptable. Maybe a month. And then other than that, if you have to have an exclusive game, I mean, it is what it is. They have to sell their consoles somehow.
Yeah.
So.
But it shouldn't just be Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo making their own exclusive games. It should be other third parties and things like that doing that too.
Making exclusive games for platforms that they... You mean just like deals? Having deals with the...
Yeah. I mean, the deals are fine, I guess, where they're at, but I feel like exclusives are in a good place right now. Any game that people want to play, people will either play exclusively on the platform or they'll play it on the multiple platforms that they are. But like Destiny was hampered by the fact that they couldn't make it for the PC because Activision didn't want them to.
The first Destiny?
The first Destiny, right. We might be in a different situation if especially for PC, for the launch of Destiny 2, if Destiny 1 had come out on PC even halfway through the life cycle.
Yeah. I think Destiny 1 would have been really fun just to play on PC too. But as far as like, I think that like exclusive games are fine, but I hate exclusive content. Like I get, it's fine that to me that, Xbox has Halo and, PS4 has Sly Cooper. Like I get it, different audiences, different systems, whatever. But the fact that like there's content being developed for games, especially like when like say the Destiny is, where there's like not a lot of content, or being like barred like maps and weapons and stuff. It's like
Well, the problem with it is that the design philosophy is supposed to be like, here's a completed game. Sony paid us to develop extra content for their platform specifically. But since we don't have like the inside access to their development cycle, we kind of just cynically assume like, nope, they just took a piece of content they already developed and sectioned it off instead. So we're like losing a part of the game,
Yeah. It wouldn't feel like that if there were more.
Yeah.
I can see exclusive content working only if Microsoft did the same thing as Sony, where they matched them, and each platform had their own exclusive content, and then eventually each one would be available for the other platform. But other than that, I don't really think it works. Like, exclusive games are fine, but
Yeah.
I feel like exclusive games are in a good place right now. I guess it just sucks to have a year.
They're in a good place.
Exclusive.
They're in a good place for Sony. There's not a lot of exclusive games for
True.
Xbox.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean,
No, I mean that, but that's Microsoft's where they're putting their money.
yeah.
Right, they're putting their money into exclusive content more and more because they don't want to push for exclusive games as much, and that's fine. But I would say that I think that Microsoft, if we're going to talk company to company, Microsoft probably needs to put more money into actual game development instead of just focusing on exclusive content. Does that make sense?
mhm.
Yeah.
So to get back to the Nightfall unique rewards real quick.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Little derail.
Yeah,
Apologize.
no, that's no problem. I mean, there's not like a ton to talk about this week anyway, so I appreciate the open discussion. But so anyway, the rewards have a chance to drop when you complete a Nightfall activity at any difficulty. So you don't have to have a certain difficulty to get them to drop. But you can increase your chances using the challenge card modifiers in to set higher personal best scores. So you get a better chance, I guess, by increasing difficulty. And it says, earning these items may take many attempts to receive a drop. They're meant to be rare. And then there's a tweet from Christopher Barrett that even says, maybe, occasionally, rarely, oh my god, WTF, will this ever drop? Like, he's really hyping up the rarity of this. And I just want to say, don't lie to us, because like you said this about the ghost, and literally it seems like everybody's getting the ghost. I don't even have the ghost, but I don't rate a ton, but so many people have said I got the ghost on my first drop. I had one person tell me I got 2 ghosts in one drop. Like, this was supposed to be the new Nano Phoenix thing. It is not. So don't lie about this. They better actually have some rare stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am so pumped because when this first came out that we were getting Nightfall rewards and then the scoring came out, I said, please make these super rare, and please make this a wonderfully, incredibly difficult Nightfall system that you guys have developed. Please make that have some kind of factor. We were like, no, it's not gonna have a factor. And I'm like, listen, if they just made it to where you get increased drop chances if you play on really hard difficulty modifiers, it'd be so great. And people are like, no, it's not gonna happen. Effing happen, baby.
Yeah.
Ayo. Like, if it's rare, it's gonna be good. And everybody's gonna be grinding for it on day one because we don't even have pictures to know what we're grinding for.
Yep.
It's gonna be running into strikes blind. I'm so excited about this. I haven't been this excited since launch.
And since it's like specifically tied to the Nightfall, which is only 1 strike a week, it'll be like, hey, this is the first person who got this week, you know? And they can like put it out on Twitter and people will be like, whoa, my mind's blown, you know? Like every week we'll have something new to look at, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, and it'd be like, I didn't know that item. Whoa, look at that crazy thing. It's like, look at the perks or whatever, and it's like, you know, it's better content than where is there this week for YouTube creators, and like, look what I have. Like, I'm gonna show you what I have on YouTube. And
where is
like,
Zer this week on the map where it says he is?
Well, on Destiny 1, I just remember a lot of videos of YouTube creators that had
it was like a race every week to find it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and so this is a better version of that type of content that could exist in that realm because of it. So
I remember Houndish always had a video out like 5 minutes after reset.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you find Zer and make a video and publish it in 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because, I mean, Dado was usually like the first. He would like take a screenshot and just immediately upload it to Twitter, which is a lot easier to do than rendering a video. But so he's like, I may not be the first one to put out what Zer has, because everybody puts that picture out, but he's the first one to take a screenshot of where he was at every week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then Destiny said, or Bungie said, why are we, why are we being so secretive about a location of a person who's like, because Destiny 2, the exotics are different, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're obviously, we know
one could say bad.
different bad.
Yeah.
Different bad.
Yep.
But the rarity of them are not as rare, and then the quality of them is not as good.
Yeah. I also want to talk about Xur for a second. In Destiny 1, I always said, like, I wish they would just take Xur out of the game, because there's nothing good about him, and it's much more exciting to just get weapons from activities than to just go buy an exotic weapon from Xur. So it just kind of demeaned the value of exotics, but then when they came out with Destiny 2, they were like, we're going to make exotics even easier to get, and it's pretty stupid. So I don't even know what they're doing anymore,
I get that. I just think that games, and I think that Destiny is no different than many other games who think to themselves, but what if nobody did get that, or what if that did or didn't happen?
There'll
Games
always
these
be
days
somebody.
have to have some form of catch-up mechanic that if you don't have a Celestial Nighthawk by now, you probably should, and that's the point. If you don't have Orpheus rig, you probably should. If you don't have a Wardcliff right now at this point, you playing this game for 6 months and imagine never getting a Wardcliff coil, you probably should. If you put 500 hours into the game and don't have a Wardcliff, you probably should have by now.
Well, that's why the RNG thing kind of sucks, because those circumstances can happen. If it was tied to a quest, if there was exotics tied to like pretty serious quests, then I wouldn't feel bad. Even if it was like a really hard quest, you wouldn't be able to make the argument, oh, well, if you don't have it by now, you should. Well, no, you should go put the work in and actually go get it. Otherwise, I don't really care.
I agree with you that like all of the exotics, not just some of them, all of them should be quest based. And you should maybe have to fulfill a certain criteria to even unlock the quest to begin with.
Yeah, I much prefer a grind over a quest. Like some exotics or something special from quests are good, but I prefer something that I have to work towards and really feel like by the time I get it, I achieved something. Like I really.
So you're arguing for RNG for exotics?
Not necessarily. No, not RNG, but like I have this weapon that I want. It should tell me how I can get it. I need to collect this, or I need to kill all these enemies over here, and then go over here and kill all these enemies, kill this boss, and hope, or not hope, but get these drops from those enemies or whatever. And eventually I build up enough in my inventory that I have enough to go and get that gun, or like materials to build the gun or something like that.
So,
like sleepers.
I mean, that's a variant of a quest, right? That's a
kind of.
Well, yeah. So you basically, he's saying, I think Snack, you're saying that you want to start a quest-based idea, and then it's saying, grind 1,000 parts or 10,000 of this thing here.
Right. I'm not saying bad quests. Like they have had some bad quests where it's like, go do this story mission that takes 5 minutes, and then poof. Here's your. That's not what I'm saying.
I'd be okay with that for like the Mechaniers trick sleeves. Like some of the exotics are like you shouldn't have like high quality quests to get to them.
Right. But the good exotics should have long quests.
Yeah, like the Galahorn quest from year 3 was actually really great.
Yeah, I know you said that last time. I still don't remember what it was. I still don't remember that one.
I don't know. Year 3
really
is like talking.
There's a couple quests that I remember from Destiny 1 that were actually pretty good. I think the original Necrochasm quest was pretty good. That one took forever. I think that the Touch of Malice quest was pretty good, and I think that the Outbreak Prime quest was pretty good, aside from the fact that they threw in that stupid thing about needing a Warlock, a Hunter, and a Titan. If that wouldn't have been in there, it would have been perfect. But there's nothing like that in the game at all right now, so that sucks.
Well, I liked the fact that like the Thorn quest. I liked the difficulty of that quest to get it, like the final piece of it. That was a lot of fun.
The Thorn quest and the Chaperone quest were difficult in the Crucible.
Yeah.
Well, and then after all of that, you had to do stupidly hard Nightfall. That was.
You know what else was really hard in the Crucible? That gunsmith. The first curse, when you the stupid hand, they gave you a specific hand cannon you had to use in the Crucible with like 5 shots in it, and you had to get like a certain amount of kills without dying, and it had the worst handling and stability and everything. It was like one of the worst weapons they've ever put in the game, and they're like, you have to succeed with this to get this mediocre weapon. And it was like, okay.
Right, and I think the reason why they might have shied away from that is because they kind of intentionally made the exotics less desirable because they were going to make them more prevalent.
Which was a terrible idea. Definitely roll that back.
In the end, yeah, they probably should have made some exotics that were less prevalent, but a better quality.
Yeah.
So.
You want to move on to quitter penalties, competitive stuff here?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So they're mentioning that or they've been mentioning that they're adding quitter penalties. It's
not for 5 weeks in a row, though.
Can I get angry? Yeah. Yep.
In 1 second, let me explain how this is going to work to everybody.
Okay.
Right. So there's going to be quitter penalties. It's only going to apply to the competitive playlist. It says it's going to apply to habitual quitters. I don't know exactly what that means, but they're going to issue temporary restrictions that basically keep you out of competitive for 30 minutes, and then it will extend if it gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And that includes leaving a match early, timing out of the game because of inactivity, or disconnecting because of network problems.
Well, timing out of the game because of getting food. They literally said that.
Yep.
This is it.
But it's only for competitive, so literally just don't start the game in a competitive place. It doesn't apply to trials. Only the competitive. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It says it right in the tweet today. Doesn't apply to trials. I can pull this up for you from Cosmo.
You're telling me that they added quitter penalties for competitive game modes and excluded
No, not competitive game modes. Only the competitive playlist. Only.
Cosmo. Wow. It's Cosmo?
Yeah, so it says update 1.
Guys, we have computers.
Wait. Oh, no, it was damage, not Cosmo. We do have computers, yeah.
Damage, tweet.
Getting some questions for the quitter penalty. For competitive Crucible, players will be temporarily restricted for 30 minutes specifically from competitive and Osiris competitive playlists. If they're habitual quitters, they will not be restricted from alt activities. And then someone asks, does that include trials? No. Trials of the 9 does not have a quitter penalty. Not only are you receiving a loss on your card if you quit, but you're making it hard for your team, hard for your pre-made fire team to continue playing if they stick around.
Wait. I'm confused.
Why are we adding quitter penalties for the comp playlist that no one plays anyway?
Yeah,
exactly. I was just gonna say that.
No, because one of the biggest problems with comp is that if you do play it, people quit out constantly.
Yeah, you think everybody's gonna flood back into comp now? They're gonna be like, "Oh, there's quitter penalties. Let's go."
No, they're going to be like, "Oh, well, I can't play competitive for 30 minutes now that I quit out." My God, nobody's gonna play that mode now.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, nobody already plays.
Nobody plays it now.
What is this?
But the comp playlist is going to be the ranked playlist soon.
Yeah, we'll add that with ranked. This doesn't make any sense at this time frame. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna.
Were you worried that it was trials, Huffy? As that was the big concern was?
Yeah, the big concern was trials because
if
like
you get
network manipulation is so prevalent that if like somebody had manipulated you offline, then like you'd be stuck. But now it's like I'm even more angry that
it's a pointless thing.
Kinrun makes a good point, which that they would apply, at least at the very least, apply it to quick play, because every second or third match you play on quick play, people leave because the team is losing.
Yeah, and why not quick play?
Yeah, I wish it applied to quick play, but
the only positive I see from this is everybody who was playing competitive will now move over to quick play and fill that up more, so you won't match up against the same people over and over as often, maybe.
Yeah, then they'll quit in quick play, so you can match even more people as they try to fill the teams back up.
And they're like, guys, quitter penalties coming in quick play.
Bro, it's like
so I can just uninstall the game now? Great.
Oh.
But I mean, we all agree you don't want this system to apply to trials, right? There's no reason. I think what he said is true. There's no reason.
Yeah, but they need to apply it to quick play.
Okay, that's
They
fine.
need to apply it to quick play.
They don't want to punish people who just want to hop in and play, Hex. I agree with that, but like, then why make a system that is in one game mode that nobody plays? Like, why were they developing it for how many months, did they say? What was the first time we heard about quitter penalties?
January, when they released the roadmap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what month is this now? March.
March.
So like 2-3 months.
March
working on a
27th.
system
So yeah.
that only applies in one mode that nobody plays.
I don't think that it's like a huge thing to have to play on a quick play game. I gotta be honest. I don't think that it's like too much to ask to say like, let's just play out this quick play game. Like the worst part of Destiny is like sitting in orbit all day, and I'm not.
We don't have the perspective though that you know.
But they obviously have a targeted thing here. Everyone complains that, hey, it's first of all hard to find a game in competitive, and then when I do find a game, as soon as the other team starts losing, they quit out. So they're doing their best to address that somehow, you know. And if it's a successful system, maybe they will apply it to quick play. We don't know, but
make competitive better.
What's the incentive?
They are making competitive better. They're going to make it a ranked playlist, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But to your point, Recked, I think Recked is what we don't have Bungie's the benefit of knowing, like, having the full feature set of the game in year 2, because they're developing these systems with year 2 and year 3 in mind. Like they're making these decisions so that it impacts the rest of the development of the rest of the game throughout the game's life cycle. Good decisions and bad decisions. Bad decisions obviously get changed. Good decisions obviously stay. But to your point, I think that, you know, it's going to be the ranked playlist, and we don't have the foresight that they have because of what they're doing right now with the game, right? Isn't that what you're saying?
Yeah, and it could be a test balloon for how the quitter penalties will work and how it's received. And, you know, I'm not saying it, maybe it can apply to quick play down the line.
So what you're saying is, in order to give them feedback, I need to join a competitive playlist, quit, and then complain that I received too harsh of a penalty?
No. You need to play competitive and say, hey, I'm either experiencing the same amount of people quitting or I'm not.
Yeah.
Is what they're looking for, feedback.
They're looking to reduce quitters, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to reduce players.
Probably.
Yeah. How is the data they're going to gather, if it is a test, how is the data they're going to gather from this apply to when they have ranked, when it'll be more flooded with players at that point than it is now? So if people get kicked for 30 minutes, the playlist is going to die even more and more slowly, and less people will play that. But when they release ranked, I feel like it's going to flood. A lot of people are going to come back and play, and all the data they gather now is not going to really be relevant at that point.
But like, I keep hearing this point from you guys that you know, they're going to lose players in competitive. I literally don't think that's possible. If you've played competitive recently, it takes like 10 minutes to find a match. Like, seriously, nobody is playing it. It cannot get any worse. It can't.
Here's my concern. Let me voice my concern.
Right.
The ranking system that they create, since this is targeted at ranked, the ranking system that they create also needs to address quitting, because this is not enough.
Well, of course.
So
I mean, it's going to count as a loss, right?
Well, right now it doesn't.
Yeah, but
it just needs to be better than ELO, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Because in an ELO-based system, if you leave,
you win.
Before, like, when the match is starting, it's a tie.
Mm-hmm.
right? And so they need to make a smart system when they're developing ranked. We need a smart system. Right now, the way ELO works, if you are up 1 kill in quick play, right? If the score is 57 to 56 and your team backs out, you get a win.
Well, this is something Bungie will have a lot more control over than a third-party website that's just using their API. And it, like,
we hope.
Well, Bungie has the tools. Like, you can't blame Destiny Trials Report for that because they are literally just taking the data that Bungie gives them and plugging it into an equation, right?
We hope that they're developing a robust system, but as of right now, they cannot tell the difference between a team backing out in trials and a team being hit offline in trials, and they're like banning half of their player base because people are backing out in Trials of Osiris.
And we'll get to that in a second too.
My trust levels for them to develop a rank system that takes into like quitting and like that kind of thing into account, it's not high.
Well, I mean, I mean, we've talked about Halo before, but the rank system in Halo, if you quit out, you lost your rank. I mean, it went down. So they definitely have the capability to do it. I don't know if their execution will be good or not, but
100%. I'm not expecting it to be bad. I'm just like putting my voice out there, like Bungie, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Make sure that quitter penalties apply in ranked, and make sure that you can tell the difference between people quitting and people losing connection to the internet.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, with what you guys have been saying, like, so if rank does apply and you lose rank when you quit out, this timeout system is going to be pointless. They're not going to need that anymore once it's a ranked playlist.
Exactly.
So
it doesn't really make sense.
So, like, say you disconnect during a ranked playlist, it's like, oh, that sucks, I lost my rank, but there's no reason you should have to sit out for 30 minutes. You know, I mean, you lost a rank. Sucks.
Well, that is going to happen though.
Yeah.
Because this is built with the ranked in mind. It's obviously not built with the competitive in mind, right? We can all agree there.
Yeah.
It's built with the ranked in mind. So, you know, a couple of months from now, you're gonna log into a game and be like, or no, I'm sorry, March. Yeah, March. That's this week, right? Next week.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, so you're gonna log in. You're gonna be like, all right, sweet. Let's find out this ranked stuff, and you click on the ranked button.
No, ranked is not coming out next week. Ranked
right, May. That's what I said, May. Yeah. I thought it was
the quitter penalties are coming out next week.
Okay, so May is what I'm saying. May.
Right.
All right. So you log in May. You're like, all right, let's do ranked, guys, and you quit the match. You can't play another game for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you just lost a rank.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. They still need to be able to tell the difference between quitting and losing connection to the internet.
I feel like they're working on that because the security thing, the notes that are coming up that we're going to talk about, I think they don't really touch on it directly, but yeah.
And there's a reason for that. But so, yeah, we'll get to security here. We might as well move on since that's come up a couple times now. So basically,
before we go on,
okay, you have more about the quitter penalties.
Adding quitter penalties right now is like literally like adding quitter penalties for comp and not for quick, like literally addresses nothing. Nothing is changing on Tuesday. Why did they do it? Okay, sorry.
Well, I think the game mode is stupid. It's the exact same thing as Trials. So why do you even want to play it? You know?
Waza, who makes a good point. He says, I think ranked should have a quitter penalty timeout. Maybe not just immediately start at 30 minutes. So if you like, if you get network manipulated 3 times in a row by the same team, which can obviously happen now in competitive, which will be the ranked, right? They're like, well, you can't play for 30 minutes, and it's your first offense.
Yeah,
it's like you could gradually get up to that, but it doesn't have to start out at
they don't say that it happens on your first offense. They say it's 4 habitual quitters, but we don't. It's really
4
know.
Habitual quitters, but the length of time is 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you are labeled as a habitual quitter and you've quit 30 minutes and that happens to you again and again and again and again, you're basically 30 minutes here, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes here the entire time.
Yep. But I mean, if it's happening that much, then like there's definitely a problem.
Well, it's because there's not as many people playing the game anymore, and that's obviously happening.
All right. I think we should move on to security.
Okay.
All right. So they say on their side they're increasing security measures to improve the Crucible environment as a whole. It's very vague. It's very open. I don't know exactly what that means, but they say that there's going to be changes in 1.1.4, which is the patch that goes live on Tuesday. And because security is a hush-hush subject, they can't go into detail, because if they tell the cheaters how it works, they can basically circumvent the system before it even goes live. So they don't want to tell us the details about how that's going to work. They don't want to
even address what they're addressing? Like, at least give me...
Yeah.
Like, tell me who you're addressing.
Yeah, and I feel like a little bit of this is PR talk, because they literally don't even use the word DDoS. They say cheaters over and over again, but they don't want to admit that they have this huge DDoS problem where people's personal routers are getting hit rampantly. I mean, the Trials of Osiris is full of people who just want to attack your router, your personal hardware. So
dedicated servers would fix
dedicated servers.
Yes, it would definitely fix that, but they're not going to invest in that. And if they did invest the money that it would cost
the player
to do
base
that,
size, the size that it is, though, I mean, I feel like it'd be all right to invest in it, right?
No, they're going to have to spend money. And if they were going to do that, they would say, "Hey, big announcement! We have dedicated servers coming." They definitely would. They wouldn't
they're
just
not adding it, but that would fix the problem.
It'd be more beneficial for them to announce they're going to do that than to keep that back.
Because what can they really do? That's what I want to know. They say that they have this back end thing that they're going to, be able to stop people from cheating.
Have you seen what defenses there are actually for that people, like companies, pay for DDoS protection and things like that?
I'm sure Huffy could tell you about it.
I could. What do you need to know?
Yeah.
The protection that companies get and have paid is usually they have somebody who is watching the packets that are physically watching the packets at all hours of the day. That's the solution. If they don't have dedicated servers.
That's for huge companies, and that's watching like a specific batch of IPs. Mm-hmm. Like like everyone is like in this environment is responsible for their own.
Right, they can't prevent DDoSes from happening, and that is the problem, because if you have like one computer that connects to it that pretends that it's 50 computers, like there's spoofing and a lot of things that you can do, but there's not a whole lot you can do to prevent against it.
You have to spend a pretty penny to be protected in any way.
And would dedicated servers be cheaper in the long run?
It would be better for the players. It would cost the players less money, but it would cost Bungie
I'm not
a big
sure why they don't
investment.
get like Microsoft, like Amazon servers or Microsoft Azure servers, like scalable servers that everybody like Amazon and Microsoft both have scalable servers.
Or literally they're on the BattleNet launcher. Talk to them about the Overwatch netcode. It's literally one of the best netcodes ever developed for a game. Seriously, talk to them about their development. Work with them to implement dedicated servers.
I remember back in the day of the PlayStation 3 days, Sony had a lot of problems with the PlayStation 3, and they actually had a group of people, which they termed as ninjas, that would Sony code ninjas that would come in and like it would be contracted by Sony, but they would go in and kind of like fix your game for you, like the code of the game and stuff, because it was very difficult to make for the game. So Sony would have like a team of people that would just like swoop in and save the game essentially for the code of the game. And eventually people figured it out, and it was a lot less difficult. But I imagine just a bunch of people just like coming from the rooftops and like the scaffolding of the buildings and stuff and jumping in and changing the game and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, here's the problem, and it's scary, and I don't know if you know this, but every time you connect to a quick play game, if someone has very basic software, every time you connect to a quick play game, your IP and everyone else's IP in the lobby is shared with everyone else in the lobby.
Yep.
Like, that is how bad peer-to-peer is. Every single time you connect to a quick play game, the other people in that lobby have access to your personal information.
Oh, Snack just
I think we just
lagged.
lost Snack.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's coming back.
Like, that's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really bad.
Yeah. And dedicated servers are the solution, and I hope that they get them. I wanted to...
Because every single person that plays, like, competitive Destiny should not have to have a VPN. Like,
Right.
it shouldn't be, you shouldn't have to own a VPN, like, to play a video game.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so they suggest that you use a cheating form if you suspect someone of cheating. They link it on their website. Welcome back, Snack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
You wanted to avoid the. What I saw was Huffy for like he was at like 2 frames a second there, and I was like, oh, something's happening. And then I saw Recked have an issue, and I was like, something my internet having. And then Snack was like a loading bar, and I was like, uh-oh. I thought I was dying.
So
it's definitely got to be.
So the cheating form, they link you this cheating form. I can tell you I've used this cheating form personally once. I was watching Huffy play Trials of Osiris, and there's a notorious player on there who does this glitch where he holds you in a pregame screen for an indeterminate amount of time until people until people start to lag out. He's been doing this for months. Months, and hasn't been banned. So I went and submitted official cheating form with footage. I linked a clip of it and literally put like, hey, this guy, everybody knows this guy does this. He does it all the time. Why isn't he banned yet? And he didn't get banned. So it's a great cheating form is what I'm saying.
Literally, like...
You talking about the in-game cheater form?
Like, literally hundreds of people have filled out
website.
this form against this guy. Like, this is not like an isolated form. Like, everyone that I know has filled out this form against this guy. He's like just running.
And you said he got like a temporary suspension recently, right? For like
he got a 1-day suspension.
1 day.
Yeah.
Just cheating for 6 months and 1-day suspension. Also, they say there's going to be another security update in May that they're probably not going to tell us anything about either. So,
yeah.
Anything else?
The black screen glitch is just so easy to do. They have to be aware of it, and they need to take immediate action against that. It's literally so easy to do. They need to take immediate action against the black screen.
Maybe the reason why they want to be able to leave him in the game is because they want to know what he's manipulating. Maybe they want him.
It's just a button glitch, isn't
like,
it?
Maybe they only
he's literally just pressing 2 buttons on his controller really fast.
Yeah.
Wait, what buttons is he pressing?
No. We're not doing that.
I'm just curious for
science.
You'd have to play on controller. You'd have to put away your keyboard and mouse.
I don't want to know then.
It probably, if it's exploitable by the buttons that it's mapped to and not like the physical controller buttons, then it'd probably be even worse on PC because people could just set up a macro that's like, like over and over.
All right, let's stop giving everybody ideas and move on.
All right, so yeah, that's it for security. There's some miscellaneous notes that are put in here that they're going to be addressing. And first of all, I want to say that on Tuesday we're getting a full set of patch notes, and I really hope that they include numbers. When you say base damage increased, I want to know how much per specific weapon. So I'm excited to see those patch notes. when playing strike or crucible activities, they're going to put in a mechanism to stop the repeat issue where you play the same map over and over and over again. I don't know if it's going to be after 2 or like if they're going to make it impossible after 1 game to get the same map. I think it would be pretty hard to do, with 8 unique players in a game, who possibly just played on 8 different maps. That eliminates a lot of possibilities. But so there's got to be some sort of complicated algorithm there.
I hope that doesn't make matchmaking time slow.
Oh yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about these like point by point, or you want me to just go through them all?
Do your thing, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bungie. Oh wait a minute, I must have left that in there from a long time ago. They are not taking feedback on Crimson Days. I definitely forgot to delete that.
I saw that. I was wondering.
So
they're not. So they don't want to know how we felt about the latest. Give us your feedback about the latest faction rally.
Right. So in tandem with the Crucible repeat reduction, the exotic repetition reduction is getting introduced with this patch too. So you won't be getting the same exotics over and over and over again in a row. But it says players can still receive repeated exotic rewards from milestones and other sources. So, I mean, you have to, it is an RNG system. It would be weird if it was just like, hey, you always get something you don't have, but...
Yeah. I mean, the TLDR on that is they just changed the way engrams work and not milestones. So engrams have protection, milestones don't.
Oh, so they're also allowing you to take the power handicap on the Nightfall Challenge card up to 45 now instead of just 40. That's really interesting because I feel like 40 is already really freaking hard, to be honest. So 45 is going to be ridiculous.
Yep, I'm excited.
But like, I thought somebody did the math, and to get like the highest score, it takes so long to do 40 that it's not really the ideal place to do it, right?
Yeah, I think the ideal place is actually like 2.98 or something.
Which is like 18 or something. So,
no, it's much higher than that, but
I don't think so. Because when I did 16, I think it was 2.75.
Oh.
So 40 is really, really high. It's like over 3.0. It's like almost 4.0, I think, right?
I don't know. I'm excited to have harder stuff.
Yeah.
Just for...
Yeah.
Maybe
I like hard.
They could put an achievement in for...
that would be nice.
Maybe, guys, here's a crazy idea. They could add achievements to PC. There's no achievements.
No, I don't really think PC needs anything else.
Yeah.
You get the frames.
Yep. They're fixing the bug where when you try and preview a shader, it keeps taking you to the top of the menu, which is good because that's really annoying.
That's good.
Nice.
Really, really annoying. Exodus Crash. I didn't know this. Exodus Crash still has the bug where when it's the Nightfall Strike, the energy spikes don't spawn in.
Yeah.
I remember the first time it was the Nightfall that was an issue. I didn't know that it has been 6 months and they haven't fixed that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy that it's not going to be the Nightfall for a while because...
Till May. Because that strike sucks, first of all, but...
Yeah, they need to just take the strike out.
But why is it taking until May to make the energy spikes spawn in? Seriously? From launch? Nope, no, okay. Nobody has a comment. The Exodus Crash spike, or the Exodus Crash strike.
Other things they're trying to fix.
Yeah, I guess it's just not a priority.
Well, so is this affecting the boss fight?
No, it's before the boss fight, before you get to the...
like you have to like collect the energy spikes out in the open field.
Yeah.
They don't spawn in when it's the Nightfall. There's a bug.
Nice. I've never had that happen.
That's because it happened once at launch. They had it as the Nightfall, and then they took it out of the Nightfall rotation because they didn't want to fix it, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know it still was a problem, but it is still a problem.
Yep, I didn't know it was a problem either, but I'm glad it's a problem because I don't want to play that Nightfall.
But
maybe I didn't know it was a problem because I didn't play it in the Nightfall. I would never play it in the. I only played it on the Nightfall one time, and I think it's only been on. Or they're talking about the reason why they actually haven't had Exodus Crash up there.
Yeah, and why it's not going to be up there until May at least. And also the boss. Yeah, they don't say that. They don't say that, but
I know, but I will not play the Nightfall if the boss is the same way.
So there's one downside to this, though, guys. They are introducing Nightfall unique rewards to this strike, and it will be unobtainable until they fix this. So.
Okay, well, hopefully it's not like an IS Luna.
So the whole removal of radar thing from competitive and Trials of the Nine, you won't be able to get the benefit from exotics like Knucklehead radar. They just wanted to clarify that.
Which is good.
Yep.
That's a good clarification. I think that Foe Tracer is going to be so good.
Yeah, Foe Tracer will be great. Thank God Gemini Jesters are going away because I hate them.
They are poopy butts. I actually did I was doing some Crucible comms on stream yesterday, and we played a few games with no HUD, and it was really not that bad. It was pretty fun.
Okay.
I liked it.
That's it for the TWAB pretty much.
Nice.
So there wasn't a lot this week, so I just kind of left it vague and said, you know, if you guys want to talk about, if you have any topics you want to talk about, or any kind of speculation or hopes for the patch next week, that's just open to discussion here.
Yeah, I have a quick question about the patch next week.
Sure.
Do you have like an extra ottoman Recked? Because like my legs, like I really just want to like put them up sometime.
I mean, you say an extra ottoman, but I don't even have an ottoman in here.
You don't have an ottoman?
No.
I think that everybody needs an ottoman for streaming, right?
I don't really think I have a place under my desk for that, because I have a cornucopia of wires that are just all over the place.
A cornucopia of wires.
Yeah. It is just a rat's nest of wires down there. I do no cable management at all. Like, I put no work into that. There's just wires, there's audio cables, there's everything all over the floor.
Well, you should put some work into cable management.
No. Who's got time for that? Who's got time for that?
I was thinking about a foot bath, but apparently that's not a good idea.
Yeah, you got some Epsom salts under the table?
Oh, yeah. So Exo came into my stream and was like talking to me, and he's like, yeah, what if you could have a foot massage right now with a water foot massage under your desk? And I'm like, Exo, you literally got mad at me for eating near my computer, and you're suggesting I bring a tub of water and put it next to my computer.
Yeah,
it makes perfect sense. So, guys, by the way, while we're just talking about like random stuff right now, if you guys have any questions, I think now would be a good time to start submitting them in chat.
Yeah, we've been kind of handling the questions as they go live, but if you guys have any additional questions right now, what this category is technically classified under is speculation and hopes. So if there's any speculation and or hopes or questions that you would like to answer, or philosophical design questions that we have no expertise to answer, but we will do it anyway.
Because we are the only podcast with computers, guys, if you didn't know that.
Yeah, that's true.
This is true. I saw that on the internet, actually, so it's got to be true.
I speculate that hand cannons and pulse rifles are going to feel a lot better.
Oh, pulse rifles are hands down going to feel a lot better. You know,
the Darkest Before is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
But I've always held this belief, and I continue to hold the belief that the reason for the meta flying the way it does in Crucible is the product of map design, and not the product of strength of weapons. Time to kill is already equalized, but long lane and small corridors equal scout rifle SMG. It's just like the way, like,
hand cannon pulse. Hand cannon pulse.
For a pulse to compete with a scout rifle,
it has to be the darkest before.
There have to be some serious buffs to pulse rifles. Like, they have to feel seriously better. Stability on console has to be like much better. And for a hand cannon to compete with an SMG for your close range energy slot.
Well, I don't think a hand cannon should be better than an SMG in like very close range.
No.
Well, yeah, obviously the ranges should feel better, but what I'm saying is the map design is made to where, like take Midtown for example, you're either like shooting down a lane, like shooting people that spawn, or you're stuck in that like tiny little hallway going into mid.
Right.
Like there aren't many in between.
So on a town like Midtown, you know, I used to have the Monononon for those super long lanes, but now that I'm using the darkest before, it's kind of just like I pick the engagements, and if somebody's like so far away, then I'm just like, I'm not shooting at that guy. I'm just gonna go around.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. But darkest before is also broke as fuck. I'm just saying that.
I actually don't think the darkest before is broken. I think a lot of weapons just really suck. And I think the darkest before actually feels pretty good as a weapon. I don't think it feels like broken in the sense like the Prometheus lens was broken.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure. The patch needs to be substantial. The accuracy bonus needs to be substantial. So I'm hoping that it really feels different.
So Captain Planet says, when they introduce Masterworks exotic weapons, what is the first exotic weapon you will masterwork? They're introducing that with the exotic retuning right in May, so I would say that Graviton Lance sounds pretty damn good.
Graviton Lance.
What exotic are you going to masterworks when they make exotic masterworks?
First one.
Yeah.
Salty Nighthawk.
Weapon.
Warcliffe Coil.
Yeah,
that is going to be the premier rocket launcher in PvP.
That's fine.
Yeah, actually.
It's already really good.
I mean, people will be killing.
It's already really good, but when they reduce the rockets down to 1, it's going to become like Warcliffe Coil's here, like right now, and with 2 rockets, you know, you have 2 rockets right here, and 2 rockets are going to go down here. So now Warcliffe Coil is going to be, it's going to be the only.
You got to use an exotic though, so you won't be able to use other exotics.
I'll use the Acrius.
If like Wardcliffe Coil is here, but then like the other rockets are here, then like maybe here would go to here, and so that like here might like even like inch up a little to here. You know
that's the thing. Like, unless people are grouped up and you can get a triple kill with that one Wardcliffe shot, which is going to be rare. The kill potential on an Acrius is way higher.
It's not super rare. It's not as rare as you might think. It's actually really easy to get multiple people with that one Wardcliffe. Because you have to bait a little bit, but you can definitely do it.
Yeah, but I could just run around with an Acrius and literally just sprint into people.
Yeah, and so that's it. So like, I guess it depends on the perk. For me, it depends on the perk of what the weapons will give us, what the exotic weapons will give us. If it's a different perk, we don't know for sure. But assuming that it's Masterworks, I'm probably going to go with the Acrius and then the Wardcliffe to make sure I have those 2.
All right, so Huffy and Snack, what weapons?
People don't know this, but on M&K, if you just jump into the air with the Wardcliffe Coil, shoot it, and then like fling your hand around and do a 360, you can actually like shoot those little pellets everywhere, and it only takes 1 to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You can like jump into the middle of the team and go like, whoa!
You gotta have really good map awareness though, because if any of them land near you, you're gonna die too.
Oh yeah. But that thing is gonna be nutty.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna masterwork any of my exotics because I'm protesting honor of PETA.
What a noble stance.
Yeah.
Snack?
I'd probably start with Wardcliff Coil. I'm shit with shotguns, so Acreus probably wouldn't get touched for a while. But yeah, I want. What's the name of the sniper rifle that has like AI? The exotic sniper.
No AI, it just increases aim assist. The Darcy.
Well, not aim. Yeah, the Darcy. Yeah, I would like to do that because that one, design-wise, is my favorite exotic.
Ooh,
like I
the
just
Darcy?
like
it is a piece of garbage. I hate to tell you.
Oh, it is garbage, but I love the design. I love
Okay.
the
Well,
the
Borealis
concept.
is pretty bad too, though.
I haven't used it, so I can't comment on Borealis. But Darcy,
It's a sniper rifle.
yeah. So Darcy is really low impact, which right off the bat makes it bad. All low impact snipers are bad.
Oh, I'm not saying it's good. I just love the concept behind it.
And then the scope is kind of weird. So like
when they fix it, like when
Well,
that's coming too, right? The flinch changes and everything.
the flinch changes are coming, but the problem with the Darcy is like once you get somebody in your sights, it like increases aim assist, right? Like that's the perk on it, which does nothing for mouse and keyboard. So I'm just not interested in it at all.
Yeah.
It's really, I think that
And the
I've always
scope's
been in
weird.
the category of people that think that low impact snipers are like the actual best thing ever for console. Just
What's
because of the AA
what's the
values.
trade-off? What's the trade-off
For
on
what reason?
for low impact sniper? What do you get for having a
That's-
low impact?
You get a higher magazine count.
You
like
get a
7
bigger
in the mag.
magazine, and you get more aim assist, which is huge on consoles.
But the
It's,
problem is you don't get extra reserve ammo. It's like the same. So
I'm
like-
pretty sure I'm going to unplug my controller at this point.
but what I wanted to get to with that is you don't get extra reserve ammo, so it's really, really bad in PvE, number one, because you just do less damage for the same brick.
Yeah.
So you should never use it in PvE. And then in PvP, the problem with it is, with the kick on snipers in general, landing follow-up shots is kind of hard. And so low impact is not the best choice, especially if you hit them in the body. It's like they could take 3 shots to the body, and then why aren't you just using a scout at that point?
It's really good on console. None of them take. I mean,
It's a really good power weapon on console.
I mean, I wouldn't. As far as sniper rifles go, low impact snipers.
Bless you.
Excuse me. They're good on console. I like them a lot.
Not
They
in
really
comparison to any other
They're
power weapon,
snappers,
but I get
and
what you're
they
saying.
have really good handling too. So
But so do there's high impact snipers with really good handling too.
yeah, there are. But like as like a class of weapon, they have good handling. They have good aim assist, and
So
that's great for controllers.
I think like one of the things with snipers is like with the high impact, instead of trying to land 2 follow-up shots with the sniper rifle itself, it's like hit them in the body, switch over to your primary, and then they're one shot. You know, you can't do that with a low impact sniper.
I mean, with the low impacts, you can either hit 2 bodies or like.
But some of them literally take 3, especially if it's high resilience enemy. It's bad. It's really bad.
I've never used a sniper that took 3 body shots.
Oh, they exist. Let me
Have
tell
you ever shot someone 3 times with a sniper?
Yep.
Oh well, I've personally never had a sniper that took 3 body shots, but the one that like I don't know. I think they feel good. Easy to hit those snappers.
You have any questions, HK? I've got a couple more, so we can keep going back and forth.
Well, it was just a question of whether or not we all just, because this week it seemed to be like a lot of people were saying, Waz was saying that his comment was that it wasn't really like a question, but it was all PvP focused. And I just said that most of it's because we cover what happens in the TWAB.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah, and I try and take some stuff from Twitter. I might not get everything, but I try and keep whatever's relevant. That week.
We're not discounting any part of the game.
Yeah.
But we're focusing on mostly what community engagement has been over the past week. Up to and including everything Bungie's saying, and then we do it in a live setting as well. And then later it's published to YouTube.
Yep. So Raffy Space Ninja asks, Nurgle or Agenda with the update, which will be better? I say Nurgle because it's fully automatic.
I'm gonna say Nurgle.
Yeah.
Actually, Agenda has lightweight, right?
I don't know.
Agenda 5.
They are the same skin, so it's kind of confusing. But I know
Let's see, weapon insights. Yeah, I'm gonna say Agenda, dude. I'm gonna be using the Agenda.
Are they both the same archetype?
The Agenda is 450.
Mm-hmm.
And has lightweight and really good sights.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Nurgle is.
All right, let me look up the Nurgle.
I think it's 450.
Uh,
In fact, I'm sure that it's 450.
Hex asks, when Reese sells your chicken to the wrong vendor, do you vote him into the brig?
So before we get to the next one, I just want to say they're both lightweight frame, Huffy, and
Nurgle is lightweight.
Yeah.
Nurgle is, yeah.
And that makes sense because if they're the same archetype, they always have the same frame.
Well, they're like lightweight, I believe, is the one that's getting the major buff, right?
I don't remember. No, the major buff is going to the high impact one.
Nurgle is lightweight.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna be using Nurgle.
Yeah.
I thought that Nurgle was just fully auto. I thought that was the perk, not the frame.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in there. Heart of Time.
Yeah. Right. Heart of Time will be good in it might be good in both. I don't know yet. But yeah, full auto.
It's rapid fire frame.
So what Hex had a question? Sorry.
Yeah, he said if Reese sells your chicken to the wrong vendor, do you vote him into the brig? And I just said, hey, is it better than drowning and or killing a chicken to save it from being drowned?
Well, I would say that you don't like voting people into the brig because then you have to wait 5 minutes.
That's really the problem. Voting people into the brig is an issue because even if you're doing it as a joke, you can't unjoke right away.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wait a minimum sentence of 5 minutes.
It's almost as bad as being timed out for 30 minutes after quitting.
Yeah, that's like being like, hey, I'm playing this competitive playlist, and someone DDoSed me, and so now I can't play competitive playlist for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Raffy Space Ninja says Infinite Paths thoughts. I don't know what that means. What's in Infinite Paths?
Isn't that the what you call it, Pulse? The one from Verse? Is that a Verse one or no?
Let me look it up. Infinite Paths 8. Oh, it's the Forge weapon.
Oh yeah, that gun's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, it's another 450, so it's another lightweight frame. It has Dragonfly. Yeah. So that'll be good.
Nice. Yeah, if my life will be complete if patch drops and I can run Better Devils Nurgle PR4 comfortably. I will be a happy camper.
Right. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be sick.
Well, like they're saying the Osiris Forge Pulse, Yep. That's what we're talking about. The Infinite Paths 8 is. By the way, guys, here's a little tip. If you guys want to know, like they're like, oh, I don't know which one this is, or I don't know which one I got it from, what verse it was from. It actually has the verse number at the end. So Guardian Progeny 1 is the first verse number.
Yeah.
So if you guys are ever curious about what verse that is, just look at the number that's after the name of the gun, and it will tell you the number of what verse it was that which you got it from.
I kept
really
all
sure
those
I
weapons.
understand. So which verse do I get the Traveler's Judgment 5 from?
7.
That would be that would be 5. Number 5. Traveler's Judgment 5 comes from 5.
I'm not really sure how you deciphered that. Could you explain one more time?
I have had happen. Like I was like, because I didn't know. I was like, which one is that? And I thought it was Recked actually. And he's like, it was a long time ago. I mean, we've come a long way since since the starting reek of Curse of Osiris.
Yep.
But
so Raffy Space Ninja asks, with the fastness in the update, what do you think y'all will go for? Do you think y'all will go for different armor stats? I don't know yet. Because I'm running the 944 and mobility is about to get better. But Huffy brought up a good point about this. We don't know the thresholds at which things will be useful. So it may outwear its utility. You might be over jumping things at a certain point, so you might actually want to scale back mobility depending on how good it is. So we'll have to do testing.
645 coming to hunters near you.
I can tell you exactly what I'll be doing is
testing. You're gonna have to know what everything is.
Yeah, well,
because that's private matches are gonna be in when that happens, right?
No. You are off on this. All of the stuff we're talking about is happening next week.
All this stuff is happening this week.
Yeah.
My God.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's two builds that I'm gonna be trying. I'm gonna keep mobility as max as I can, which I'm gonna be losing 1 mobility from this, but I'm gonna be trying out Arc Bolt build. Since they're doubling the amount of cooldown reduction, I'll be seeing how it feels to take off your arc bolts. I mean, put 2 arc bolt mods on, which means I'll be running 844 with double arc bolt cooldown. Then I'm gonna be trying shade step cooldown, which will also be 844 with a double shade step cooldown. See what happens there. I think that with
well, you already get better shade steps with your arc strider for sprinting, right?
Yeah, that's a perk on the thing, but having it more just allows you to be more aggressive, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no crap button. That's what the shade step has always been for. You can push lanes, right into lanes really confidently, knowing that you can get right back. So I think that both of those could be good. And you can still keep 844 while doing that. There'll be no reason to change your resilience. 4 resilience will still protect you from scout rifle damage in the same way. And Recov will still be just as good. I think that I'm very interested to see something that happened a lot during Destiny 1 that not a lot of people noticed was animation breaking. So if you ran max mobility and a lightweight weapon in Destiny 1, then you could fudge the animations that your hunter would do. Like, say if you had full mobility and a Midon on a shade step hunter and you shade stepped and jumped, your character would jump before the shade step animation finished. It just made you very hard to hit running max mobility.
That might have something to do with 30 frames too, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to bring something up in this topic of speculation and hopes. I think I am the only person in the world right now who is mad that Night Stalker is getting nerfed into the ground. People keep it is everything I like about the Night Stalker has to do with the radar. Literally everything. I like the better slices in the radar. That perk is going to do nothing. It's going to be completely useless. The smoke.
The perk is not just the slices, though.
What do you mean?
That perk is Keen Scout, which gives you increased mobility and the slices. So you still get the increased mobility.
Okay, and well, I mean, just like the smoke, though, I mean, the most of the perk is a passive perk about the radar, and then the smoke puts false flags on the radar, which it's not going to do anymore. And then the super is the worst super in the game. It's just terrible. It's awful. You literally die if people
instantly
are looking at you, and you aren't falling behind cover as it's going off, then you're dead. Just forget about it.
I have actually tested this. It is the only... Hunter is the only class in general that doesn't get an overshield, an immediate overshield, or start the immediate overshield the second they cast their thing.
The damage resistance isn't enough for a one-time super. It's not.
No, definitely not. It should be like the void bomb, because it's a void hunter. It should be like the void bomb where you get that overshield. It's impossible to kill that void bomb while he's casting the void bomb.
It's not impossible, but it is like really hard to do.
It's very, very difficult,
Yeah.
right? But I'd like to see that for the hunter.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that you guys are on crack. It's called Way of the Trapper because it's not supposed to be.
Coffee, are you gonna run Night Stalker now that the Night Stalker changes are gonna be implemented?
Yeah. I think I'll run Night Stalker much more.
What? That doesn't make any sense at all. I'm literally switching to Arc Strider because I feel like I have no choice. Second thing I wanted to bring up is, why isn't Golden Gun getting a buff?
It is.
Well, yeah, it is getting more super, like every other class. Is what you're saying, right?
They're nerfing Night Stalker, Orpheus Rick. What we're talking about is the actual Night Stalker changes are only going to be effective in PvP. PvE is completely unchanged as well.
But so you're saying it's getting a buff because you'll get faster super regeneration, right? Or
no, I'm talking about they're increasing the duration of Golden Gun, I believe.
I'll have to double check that, but I don't remember seeing anything about Golden Gun at all. I don't think the super needs a buff. I think the passive game sucks. It's awful.
It always has. Yeah, Golden Gun is about the super. It's the best super in the game. And that's the trade-off you get when you play the subclass.
It hasn't always been bad. The throwing knives in Destiny 1 were amazing. I loved them. They are unusable right now.
Well, that's a like PC versus console balance thing, because
there's auto aim on the knives in the console. Yeah.
Even when I played console and I tried it though, it didn't feel as good as Destiny 1. The throwing knives.
Yeah. Sure. Well, they have more health, and there's a lot of reasons, but
yeah, because they used to do 140 damage. What do they do now? To the head, it was 140 and 120, and before they got nerfed, it was 150 and 120.
Yeah, I think it's about a million.
A million, okay.
It's probably 90 though. just the best.
90 damage. So like an arc bolt that you don't have to aim does the same as a throwing knife that's not hit scan and is like really hard to hit. That makes sense. But yeah, literally Arc Strider is going to be the best thing in the game. It's already really powerful. Once they buff it, it's going to be like... Woo!
Well, the reason why people are using it now is because of the neutral game and because of the changes that are coming for it. The super is still not the greatest.
I don't know. I got a Hurricane the first game I put it on.
Yeah, I got a...
Literally, I've never played Arc Strider before.
I mean, it's a hard super to use. It is. There's a big skill up on the super.
I'm still gonna rock Night Stalker for a little while until maybe it sucks. I don't know, but I feel like with the Graviton forfeit, you're gonna get an extra second of being invisible. They said they're gonna be emphasizing flanks a little more.
They nerfed invisibility, though, right?
Yeah, but still,
there's not a lot of people who use.
It's not going to affect PC as much because aim assist isn't as much of a factor. But for the people using controllers on PC, they will be able to actually aim at you now while you're invisible.
Yeah, and this is still good though.
Trials, in Trials, it's not going to be radar, so you're going to be able to flank a lot more often, and you're going to be invisible, so they're not even going to know you're coming most of the time. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
But if you're flanking and you're behind them or to the side of them, it doesn't really matter if you're invisible or not, right?
I mean, it helps. For sure, it helps.
Yeah, I guess peripheral vision and stuff like that, you're less likely to notice.
Yeah.
Smokes are a great shit button, too.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, because they're going to be focusing mostly in one direction. Maybe if you do it too often, they're going to recognize, okay, we need to switch up our strategy, but at least the first couple of times, you're probably going to get away with it, which will provide your team with an advantage, maybe it'll go up or something. So
see, I think smokes have to be reworked. Like you're saying, they're a great O ship button, but with this whole like radar going away thing, I want them back to envenomed. I don't want them to be this sticky on the wall crap.
Bro, smokes are so good, bro.
I'm
you
going to
literally
tell you
block off
something.
entire lanes with your melee button, and you can do it
what
twice
if
if
this
your game
happens,
was
right?
dodge.
What if this happens?
Mm-hmm.
The mobility update just buffs the hunter to crazy numbers if he's playing Night Stalker, and the aim assist
Crazy
makes him
numbers.
so
What does that mean?
like so much like his mobility being higher than other classes,
Mm-hmm.
and like the mobility buff increases the hunter's mobility, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a hunter who has high mobility anyway, or even medium mobility, and now mobility just does some crazy things, even if they have aim assist, you're moving so much faster that they can't keep the reticle on you.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I don't know how much
Right.
that's going to play a
Is the
factor.
perk-
But
mobility
then
perk
Arc
on
Strider will still be even better, though.
Well, if you're invisible, not really, because then you can still make mistakes with auto aim as well.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, it's
like
still
everything
hard to
about
hit.
the neutral
Auto
game,
aim isn't auto kill.
everything about the neutral game of the Arc Strider is going to be better, though.
Yeah.
So Arc Strider is gonna feel better, yes. But Night Stalker, I don't think that is getting nerfed to the ground. I think that it's getting brought into line for sure.
I'm not using it again until they make smokes better, until they make it so Tether can one-hit kill people. Not in their super, but it needs to be
meta's
able to...
changed. Night Stalker has been the best class in the game since launch, and it's like literally been like ravaging PvP. Like if it has to spend if it got like put into line a little too hard for now, things will change again. But like I think it's fine that everyone won't be running Night Stalker for a little while.
I don't know. I don't feel like it was that good on PC anyway.
No, it wasn't as strong on PC. I'm not running Night Stalker right now on PC anymore. I did it only because I was used to it on the console. That's what I did on console.
Yeah.
But like the super is meant to be a zoning super, right? It's for like that's why
it's not even effective as that. So say you trap one on the wall and try and bait somebody into it. It doesn't even go off right away when they walk by it. It's awful.
No.
Like people literally fly through it with hammers and can still hit you with a hammer before it traps them. Like you did everything perfect and it's still bad.
Yeah, they need to fix that for sure.
But mobility. Yeah.
Rafi says he thinks Recov will be more useful, which is interesting because they're not doing anything to recovery, but I guess he means because mobility's better, that you'd be able to recover around the corner quicker is useful.
Yeah.
I don't have any other questions, do you?
Maybe every super isn't supposed to be strong in Crucible.
I'm not saying every super is supposed to be strong, but there seems to be no balance to it because it's like a lackluster neutral game, and then it's the worst super in the game. So
pretty good neutral game still, but that's.
Well, the reason why people are picking Hunter though isn't because they're like, oh no, I'm gonna play this class. They pick Hunter because they're like, oh, I like capes, or I like the style of gameplay that it provides me. They pick it on a gameplay perspective. Like Titan, they're supposed to feel different and unique. And if everything is balanced 100%, then we're just ending up in D2 versus
Yeah, and they definitely don't feel unique enough right now. Like, I know in Destiny 1, I actually liked switching between the characters, even though I, like, was always terrible at Titan. I was like, you know, it's pretty cool, like, running around shoulder charging, having these, like, lightning grenades and stuff like that. And now, I don't know what it is, but it's just, like, I guess since abilities have been toned down so much in Destiny 2, it's like, I don't even ever care to play Warlock or Titan, ever. PvE or PvP.
The only reason I ever played Titan was so I could skate.
Which is gone. But I don't know if they're bringing it back. They've been kind of alluding to that, but they haven't really said that. But, I mean, even in PvE, it was like, I liked running Titan because I could be like, oh, now I can be the bubble guy. You know, and Bubble's useless now, so... I don't know, it doesn't feel like there's roles.
No, Trials.
I just said PvE.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just said I liked it for PvE because you like fulfilled a role. You know, you had the Blessing of Light or the Weapons of Light.
Yeah.
But yeah, for objective-based game modes, it's great. You can cap the point or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else?
Excellent. No other questions. No.
Okay.
I mean, if there's any other questions, outlying questions, guys, please ask them now. If you guys have any questions.
But they're doubling the effectiveness of armor mods. Night Stalker will be able to shade step more than any other class.
But don't you think with the Masterwork extra armor protection that they need to tune it individually for each super? Like a roaming super should not get the same buff that a one-shot super like Tether or Nova Bomb get. Like Tether or Nova Bomb should get a much bigger buff from something like that than a roaming super does. It just seems
I mean, right. They are tuned individually. Like,
no, it's 20% across the board. It was 15, and now it's going to be 20.
Well, that's with Masterworks, but I'm talking about like armor bonuses in general that you already get without Masterworks. Titans get more armor bonus than Hunters in Super.
Yeah,
you know, and Warlocks get in the middle.
Will there be any new weapons with this next update? No, but
yeah, there will. The Nightfall unique ones.
Nightfall unique.
Yeah, Nightfall unique. Well, they haven't said if they're weapons or not. We don't know.
They're weapons.
I think the weapons and maybe armor, right?
Maybe armor, yeah. They're definitely weapons.
Well, they're exotics or are they legendary?
No, they didn't say that, but I don't think there's going to be exotics, to be honest with you.
Yeah. They said they're going to be like unique to the boss as well. Like
it's going to be themed.
Like maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. Like parts of the boss or whatever.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other big but is that all of the weapons, most of all of them, are getting so many balance passes and so many changes to them that everything is potentially going to feel like a different weapon, and the weapons you might love or might think that you love might be completely different by the time of it. By the time you know, a week's end, you'll be like, oh god, I hate the Better Devils now because it's whatever. It's like, this is so much a better gun now than it was before. So like everything you know about every weapon is a lie.
Yeah, now maybe the best gun in Destiny, the Better Devils, will feel like even the more the best gun in Destiny.
Well, they are nerfing explosive rounds, so probably not.
Well, they're not nerfing explosive rounds in PvP.
It's not going to work at range like it does right now.
Is there a Taken King mission?
He's talking about the sniper rifle.
The survival.
Sniper rifle.
He's talking about like what?
He
like
says
Lost to Light, you mean?
Like, I didn't get that yet.
Like,
do you think they're gonna bring anything like the Taken King mission from Destiny 1?
Lost to Light. I hope so. That would be amazing, but I don't think so with a free patch. Maybe with the expansion. Black Spindle.
They did say Nightfall Rewards version 1.
Explosive round. Decreased PvE explosive rounds damage. This decrease has been compensated for with an increase in PvE damage.
Right.
PvE. PvE. We've had this conversation 5 times. It's
I know.
PvE.
I know, but so the whole thing is it's getting a base damage buff to compensate, which base damage is subject to range fall off and explosive rounds is not. So we had
It's
this
PvE though.
What? The explosive rounds are still not gonna, like, they changed the balance of it though. So more of the shot goes into the base damage.
Now it's PvE.
I don't know.
They're tuning it differently for
They're
PvP.
tuning it differently. Explosive rounds are being tuned differently.
I'm not really sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. Midnight Coup is going to be the gun to use. Yeah.
It is gonna be good.
All right,
But-
so I'm trying to read that.
I agree, Waz.
Decrease PvE explosive rounds damage. Okay.
So it's just,
So it'll function exactly the same way in PvP then.
hey, it's nice to know that we have computers,
We have computers.
guys.
I just
We have
got mine. I just got it.
Yeah.
Snack just got his computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the podcast where you can now have computers.
Yeah, computer podcast. Ayo.
I really think about it. It really is the only, like, one of the only podcasts I've seen where we're sitting around, our computer, like, monitor versus like all sitting on a desk together.
But by the way, guys, I wanted to kind of announce, like, I stopped posting the Twitter questions thing because it wasn't getting like that many questions, and I think it's probably better with the audience size we have right now to just answer questions live on the fly. If in the future we get a lot of questions, then we can talk about bringing that back. But if you have any specific feedback or you want to see me have like a question submission format of some kind, let me know. But for now, I think this is probably a better system. You guys
I
have
heard they're decreasing Twitter explosive rounds damage.
yeah. So
Reset.
the Twitter,
the
tweets won't go as far. They won't travel around the world. It'll fall off in the Atlantic Ocean.
Recess's questions don't matter now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Reese is getting a Twitter nerf.
You're
Man,
100% less Twitter questions on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter questions have been nerfed 100%.
So we're just about at 2 hours. You guys have anything else before we start wrapping up?
YouTube comment questions, yeah, that's something we can reply to as well.
YouTube comment, but it would have to be the folling week that we reply.
Yeah. YouTube comments. And
We
things
would
like that,
really
go over.
appreciate engagement on YouTube. We got a lot of views on the last one. We were almost at 10,000. It's like 9,500 views on the last one, but not a ton of comments or anything like that. So if you guys,
Well, I mean, think about how many people are viewing it, and like even if we get 1% of those comments, that's still 10 comments there.
We got one comment. We got one comment.
No, but I mean,
so.
I mean, if you're but you're not telling people right now. You're not telling people to comment on YouTube, right? In the past, you weren't. But now we're like,
Right.
hey, comment on YouTube.
That's what I'm saying.
We will have a section in the
that hell is dope.
to
Poggers.
address.
Yep. That was Reese. So you guys have anything else, or you want to wrap this up?
I think we're good.
All right, cool. Snack, thanks so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks again for having me.
Yep, we're gonna do a quick sign off, and what we usually do is just link to anything
Where you can find us.
where you can find it. I'm Recked. You can find me at twitch.tv/Recked. It's RECKED_UM. You can find me at twitter.com/Recked. RECKEDUM. No underscore in the Twitter.
And I am Exo Fury. You can find me at Twitch as Exo Fury. You can find me on Twitter as Exo Fury on Twitch. AXOFURY, Fury spelled with an I.
I'm Hobby on Twitch, on Twitter, and I'm Hobby Live on Twitch.
That's great promotion.
Oh wow.
And I am snacKNIGHT. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at snacKNIGHT. There you go.
All right.
All
Thanks,
in one.
guys. Bye.
Uh,
Thank you.